If you find this video before, during, or after the full moon on May the 1st, this message is for you. The Scorpio full moon here is not light energy. You are meant to feel this. And what's interesting is that both tropical and Vedic layers are pointing towards an emotional transformation right now, just through different layers of reality. In tropical astrology, the full moon is happening in Scorpio. It is the sign of death. It is the sign of rebirth. It's also shadow work. It's also emotional intensity. There's intimacy there. There's power. There's secrets. There's transformation, there's karma energies that are enlisted in there. There's also energetic attachments with that, but there's also truth beneath the surface. So Scorpio here doesn't really care at all about surface level comfort, like at all. It wants honesty, it wants authenticity, it wants the real version of you. So if you have been emotionally overwhelmed, obsessively thinking, perhaps you are revisiting a lot of these old memories. You're having those vivid dreams. You're having purging in your relationships. Perhaps you're feeling this disconnection with old timelines. People are slipping in and out of your actual reality, and suddenly there is a craving of deeper meaning here. So realizing that certain people also can't come where you are going. They're either going to meet you or they're going to dissipate, and that's the energy. Because this full moon is exposing what is energetically misaligned. But here is where it starts to get deeper, because we have the Vedic astrology layer on top, where the moon is still in that sidereal of Libra. It's moving through Swati energy, and that swift movement that is associated with the winds of change, literally. So it's like the independence of it. There's this karmic redirection that's associated with it. And it's really about learning how to stand in your own frequency without any type of outside validation. So tropical Scorpio here says transform, but the Vedic layer with Swati is saying you need to detach and move, and the combination of these two is huge. This is why so many people right now are saying that they're standing and feeling like they're in between two identities. Their relationships here are changing overnight. People are passing away in their lives. People are leaving unexpectedly, friends, careers, partnerships. Then you also have this freedom that you are craving, but there's an emotional depth to that freedom. So you're being called to something that is just completely new here, and your intuition is just screaming way louder than the logic. And we do have other planetary influences that are amplifying all of this. We have Venus that is bringing in that lovable, creative layer into your relationships. We have Uranus that has entered into Gemini. This is the beginning to rewriting literally all of communication and media and AI and technology and learning and how to actually process your human emotions and information here all together. You're literally watching the human nervous system start to speed up. The collective nervous system is accelerating at such a fast rate. People are waking up a lot faster. The truth is moving faster. The exposure is happening faster. Relationships are forming faster. Timelines collapse faster. And Pluto has this deeper transformational energy underneath all of this, and it's continuously just stripping away all the false structures, both collectively and personally. So the full moon here feels very emotionally intense because your soul knows that there is a new chapter that is beginning. And the most affected signs by this full moon: Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. But honestly, it's really anybody who has any strong fixed sign placements, especially your moon, your rising, Venus. Personal planets are associated with this, so it's probably this heavier feeling that you're getting. Look at your natal chart. If you don't have one, sign up and get one from me. But look where you have these placements, because you're going to feel this emotional exhaustion in those house areas. There's going to be anxiety that is going to be mixed in with all of this excitement type of energy. There's intense attraction or there's detachment labeled with this, and just a pressure overall to start evolving, deeper clarity where your purpose is. Yet again, if you don't know what your purpose, your mission, your life path is, book a reading or a session with me. We'll get down to business. But there's going to be these random endings that happen. Spiritual downloads are going to be happening. Heightened intuition, especially if you have Cancer rising placements for the next 7 years, you're going to be the most psychic as fuck person. And you're just going to develop all these different psychic sensitivities that you didn't know you had. How do you move in this energy? Well, first, you got to stop forcing it. Scorpio energy here really punishes any type of control tactic involved in it. It wants actual surrender and it wants the truth. But secondly, you really want to pay attention to what feels open. You're going to have to tap into what you actually feel, not your logic this time. What do you feel? What feels open? What feels welcoming? Not something that your ego wants to chase. We're not chasing, okay? You want to feel what is familiar. That is the energy that you want to follow, not something that is going to drain you. There's a new timeline here, but that timeline feels expansive. It feels welcoming. It feels alive. And then, of course, you need to protect your energy. It is so crucial right now because your nervous system here is processing a lot right now. Hydrating, sleep, ground yourself, limit the overstimulation, like I said, and just be intentional about who has access to your energy field. And yes, this can be a manifestation portal, but it's not the superficial wish for a car under the full moonlight type of way. This is more of a full moon that is better for releasing and timeline shifting. It's good for cord cutting. If you're having emotional clearing, it's really good for that. Or you're doing shadow integration, reclaiming your power with a Scorpio full moon, and really just deciding what version of yourself you are no longer available for. We're cutting ties for a lot of these things, but manifestation works best here whenever you remove a lot of these blocked alignments first. So instead of thinking like, what do I do during the full moon? You really need to be asking yourself what needs to leave so that highest timeline can enter just fully. Because what's next after the full moon is full acceleration. We've been talking about this. This is where more truth is going to be surfacing, more collective shifts are going to be happening. There's rapid changes that happen in relationships, careers, spirituality, media, your identity. But the old version here of humanity is absolutely collapsing. You can see it. Many of you can actually feel this if you're sensitive to energies. So if you have been trying to understand your soul mission, your karma, your soul history, your love patterns, money blocks, spiritual gifts, your galactic origins, or why certain cycles are just keep repeating in your life and you just don't know how to get out of it. This is why you felt different from everybody else around you. And this is exactly why I help people just like you understand what this means for you, your path, your mission. If you feel the call to understand more about yourself, your surroundings, your life path, you can go ahead, book a session or a reading with me on my website, sarahstarrofficial.com. If you feel called to this work, trust that feeling because your soul already knows why you found me.